What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Nash here. Welcome back to the channel. Excuse me. Now, before we get started with this week's episode of Yu-Gi-Oh's Biggest Issue, the road to 200 subs has now come to a close, and we are now on the road to 500 subs. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe we might hit 500 subs by the end of the summer. Only time will tell. But as I have said in previous videos, if this channel does get to 500 subs, I will open up this Korean LOB booster box in its entirety on the channel that I got from my partners over at Collector Store. So be sure to check them out. Link and address will be in the description below. By checking them out, not only does it support them, it also supports the channel, and I would greatly appreciate it. On the hopes to potentially pull a Blue Eyes White Dragon, a Dark Magician, a Red Eyes Black Dragon, a piece of Exodia, Monster Reborn, Pot of Greed. The possibilities are out there. However, if this channel gets to 1,000 subs, I will open up this first edition Toon Chaos box in its entirety on the channel that I also got from my partners at Collector Store, on the hopes to potentially pull a collector's rare. Excuse me, on the hopes to potentially pull a collector's rare out of this set. But it wouldn't be the first time that I pulled a collector's rare, because I also pulled this. Freshly pulled out of my Genesis Impact box opening that I did last year is a collector's rare B-Cup from the Underworld. This thing is absolutely beautiful as a collector's rare. The centering on the back is a bit off from top to bottom, but honestly, it really doesn't make much of a damn, because I am going to be getting this card graded, but I never came up with a good opportunity to do so. But with that being said, if you guys want to see these boxes get opened, maybe you guys want more episodes of WWE's Biggest Issue, maybe you guys want more episodes of Yu-Gi-Oh's Biggest Issue, deck profiles, card discussions, WWE topic videos, or maybe, just maybe, you guys want some premium live event predictions and results. Well, if you guys want all of that and more, my channel is the place to be. So if you guys are new to the channel, and I know that a lot of you guys are, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, smash that thumbs up button on this video, and as always, make sure you guys are following me on all of my social media. My ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And I want you guys to post in the comments below answering the question of the day, which actually ties with this week's episode, which is this: between Maze of Memories from last year and Maze of Millennia from this year, which set do you think has the better cards? Let me know down in the comments below. I'm very curious of what you guys have to say. And for this week's episode, I'm going to be doing a full in-depth review of the newest set, Maze of Millennia, which will be released in just a few short days, January 19th of this year. Honestly, I'm actually excited for this set because of the fact that there are cards in this set that I didn't think we were ever going to get printed. And trust me, there's quite a few cards. So I'm not gonna waste any time. Let's just get straight into it. Obviously, I have talked about a vast majority of the cards that are in this set, including, I think, what was it, yesterday or when it was either yesterday or I think it was Tuesday. I talked about the new Flame Swordsman support, which are actually the next few cards that are listed. Funny enough, so I really don't need to bring those up, but still, a full in-depth review. Let's get straight into it. So going in numerical order, we have Junk Warrior, which is actually the quarter century secret rare reprint of the set, and the alternate artwork. I've shown it to you guys already, so actually, you know what? I think I'll show it off again, just in case if I didn't really show it off. So let me go to my iPhone. Go here. Let's go card list. Maze of Millennia. So here is the brand new alternate artwork for Junk Warrior, and honestly, it looks amazing. It looks really, really cool. I have to admit. Gotta admit, it looks pretty cool. Then of course we have the Flame Swordsman supports. We have So we have Fighting Flame Swordsman, Salamandra the Flying Flame Swordsman, Mirage Swordsman, Ultimate Flame Swordsman, Fighting Flame Dragon, Flame Swordsman, Flame Swords Realm, Salamandra Fusion, Fighting Flame Sword, Salamandra with Chain, and Flame Sword Stance. Now obviously I've already talked about the cards that are in there. They're here. I've already talked about them. They all have effects where you can equip to one of your fire monsters. It gains 700 attack, and you can just fusion summon for days, And it's a good thing Max C is no longer legal in the TCG, because yeah, Max C would become quite the interesting factor with this deck, if you ask me. Then of course there's also the Eye of Illusion, which I don't think I talked about this card, but if I haven't, I will read off its effect just in case. But it is a quick play spell that reads, if you control an illusion or spellcaster monster, activate one of these effects. Your illusion and spellcaster monsters cannot be destroyed by battle this turn. During your opponent's turn, target a face-up monster your opponent controls. Take control of it until the end phase. When an opponent's monster declares an attack, target one face-up monster your opponent controls except the attacking monster. Change the attack target to it and perform damage Cal. This is basically like Snatch Steal on fucking steroids. That's all it is. And not only that, it has protection for your illusion and your spellcaster monsters. So the Chimera decks and the Dark Magician decks and pretty much any like spellcaster based deck. I think what is it? Full Power Pepe, and I want to say Endymion based decks, sort of. They can use this card. No questions asked. So that's a pretty cool one. Then of course we've got Kaitop Terra, Horned Swords. I think I've already talked about these cards already. Then Colorless. Chlorless? They're actually calling it Chlorless, which is kind of funny. I believe the OCG name was Colorless. Chaos King of Dark World. This is a nasty card. This card upon fusion summoned, you can literally just pop your opponent's entire board, and depending on how many materials this card used, it gains an additional 1,000 attack for each material. And once per turn, which is a quick effect, you're able to to target a face-up card that you control, discard a card, and your opponent can't target that face-up card with card effects for the rest of the turn. So that's it's a pretty nasty card. Some would say it's a bad card. I honestly don't see it that way. I honestly don't. I think Chlorless is gonna be one of those fusion cards that is going to help take Dark World to a whole nother level, like hands down. Obviously, I'm still missing a few cards for my Dark World deck. This one included, but that's a really good one. Then of course we've got Arcana Force 15, the Fiend. Shoutouts to Bray Wyatt with the Fiend character. Shoutouts to Bray Wyatt, rest his soul. But if you guys have never seen this card before, 7-star Light Fairy, 2500 attack and defense, and the effect reads, you can discard this card, add 1 light barrier from your deck or grave to your hand. If this card is summoned, toss a coin, and this card gains the appropriate effect. Heads, when an attack is declared involving this card, you can target a monster on the field, destroy it, and if you do, inflict 500 damage to its controller. Tails, if an attack is declared involving this card, destroy all monsters on the field. So it's either you deal 500 points of damage to your opponent, or you basically dark hole the entire board, which is absolutely insane. Obviously, the Arcana Force deck is still too gimmicky, but with this card, I mean, it's possible. It's possible, but who knows? Who knows? Anyway, next up we've got Bonfire. I'm telling you guys right now, Pyro-based decks are going to completely take over the meta once this set gets released. Once Bonfire is in the hands of players, all Pyro-based decks are going to completely destroy the meta. And one of them being Volcanic. Volcanic is gonna be one of those decks that will finally be meta after so many years. Because I know that there have been some people who wanted to bring Volcanics to a YCS or to Nationals or whatever, but once those people realize that it's not good enough against decks like Blackwing or decks like Full Power Pepe, people realize, oh, guess I gotta pick another deck to play. So they end up playing like Blue Eyes or Dark Magician or something, or even Red Eyes for that matter. So I'm telling you guys, Pyro is gonna be the new meta. I'm telling you guys, it's going to happen. Bonfire is gonna make sure of it. Is it possible? Absolutely. Is it bound to happen? We'll have to wait and see. Next up, we've got Combat Wheel, which I believe this is the one that can actually protect itself from being destroyed by card effects. That's actually kind of cool. And it also gains attack, which is pretty cool. And it also allows you to and it also puts a counter on itself. And if this card gets destroyed while it has a counter, then you're basically forced to Raigeki your own board, which is a bit of a downfall with this card, but still it's pretty cool. Next up, we've got Yanagi's cards. We have Ashoka Pillar, Cabrera Stone, Triangle Low, and Totem Pole. So we've seen these cards get played in the anime, so I really don't need to explain their effects. But excuse me. But with Ashoka Pillar on, but to summarize what these cards do, with Ashoka Pillar on summon, you can add 1 equip spell from your deck to your hand, And if this card were to be in attack position, it gets switched to defense. And if this card were to be destroyed by battle card effect, you take 2,000 damage. With Cabrera Stone on summon, you can add Triangle O from your deck to your hand and switch it from attack to defense. And if this card were to be destroyed by battle card effect, you take 1,000 points of damage. So you basically lose a lot of points, to be honest. Now, as far as Triangle O, if you have all three, Crystal Skull, Ashoka Pillar, and Cabrera Stone, you can destroy all cards on the field, and for the rest of the turn, any effect damage that you would have taken, your opponent takes instead, and you can banish the card from your grave, target one of all three that's in your grave, shuffle them into the deck, and draw 3 cards. So this is essentially your like pot of avarice, if you will, for the whole deck. But let's be real, it's too gimmicky. It's too gimmicky for these cards to be in a meta deck, to be honest. And then Tonal Pole, basically you put 3 counters on this card, and you can basically negate 3 attacks, which is pretty cool. Then of course we've got Earthbound Release, which is a pretty cool one, which you're able to pop as many monsters on the board that your opponent controls as possible upon tributing one of your level 10 Earthbound monsters, and you're able to inflict damage to your opponent equal to the combined original attack of the monsters destroyed, which is absolutely nuts. So this is one card that a lot of the Earthbound Immortal decks are gonna want to play, because it could potentially push for game. So in a way, it's kind of like Nibiru, but for the Earthbound Immortal deck itself, which is absolutely insane. Then of course we've got number 1, Infection Buzz King. Yes, the numbers collection for Cyber Knight is finally going to be complete. Obviously, I'm sure there's probably still a few cards that he's missing, but we have all the numbers. We've got numbers 1 through 4, and then of course the Numeron Gate, numbers 1 through 4. We got them all. Infection Buzz King. This is a nasty one. A generic. Think about this. It's a generic rank 8. And it could just ruin your opponent's entire board, which is absolutely insane. Then of course we got Photon Delta Wing, Armored Xyz, Ring Announcer, which I believe this is the one for obviously for Battling Boxer. Says special summon a Battling Boxer from your hand, then destroy spells and traps on the field up to the number of Xyz monsters you control. You can only activate 1 Ring Announcer per turn. This is basically Harpy. This is like basically Cyber Dragon, Harpy's Feather Duster rolled into 1 card, which is absolutely insane. Battling Boxer is gonna be another deck that could potentially switch up the meta. It's possible, very, very possible. Then of course we got the Earthbound Prisoner card. So we have Groundkeeper, Stone Sweeper, Line Walker. Then of course we got the Earthbound Servant Fusions. We have Geo Kraken, Geo Gracia, Geo Gremlin, and Geo Griffin. Which the Earthbound deck, with these cards, oh, it's gonna be so beautiful. It's gonna be so beautiful to see this deck make its way into a YCS level. I could definitely see it. It's gonna happen, you guys. Then of course we've got Earthbound Prison, as well as Harmonic Synchro Fusion. And then I believe the rest of these cards are all reprinted, if I remember correctly. Oh wait, no, it's not. The next couple are I think all new ones. So we have Phoenix Gearblade, which actually works with the Flame Swordsman archetype, which is kind of cool. Drastic Draw, which is a bit of an interesting card. So Drastic Draw reads: banish all monsters you control, minimum 2, draw 3 cards. You cannot normal or special summon the turn you activate this card except Cyber's monsters. You can only activate 1 Drastic Draw per turn. This is a bit of a a downgrade, because if you don't have a lot of Cyberse monsters in your deck, then you're basically then you've basically limited yourself to a certain amount of summons that you're allowed to make, which is a bit of a downfall. And it also comes as a 3-for-3, which it's okay, which is okay, I guess, but it is what it is. Next up, we have transaction rollback, which says pay half your life points, target a normal trap in your opponent's grave, except this card. This effect becomes that card's activation effect. You can banish this card from your grave, pay half your life points, target a normal trap in your grave, except this card. This effect becomes that card's activation effect. You can only use one transaction rollback per turn, and only once that turn. So, so this is a pretty cool one, because this is basically trap trick, but for normal traps in the graveyard, which is absolutely, it's pretty cool. It's pretty good, but it's a bit too conditional, if you will. And then of course we've got Code Hack, which is obviously for Cyberse Link monsters, and it says here, Cyberse Link monsters you control cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. Once returned during the battle step, if your monster battles an opponent's monster, you can activate this effect. That opponent's monster attack becomes 0 until the end of the turn, and for that battle, monsters cannot be destroyed by battle, and neither player takes battle damage. That opponent's monster must be face up on the field to activate and resolve this effect. When your opponent activates a card or effect during a damage step that your Code Talker monster is attacking in, you can banish this card from your grave, negate the activation, and your attacking monster gains 700 attack. That's actually kind of crazy, and I'm plugging in my laptop because it needs to be charged. Sorry guys. Anyway, that's actually kind of cracked, because you're able to essentially just ensure that your monsters, that your Link monsters just essentially just win over your opponent, which is absolutely insane. Absolutely insane, you guys. Still, again, it's a bit too conditional, but still, it's still pretty good. And then, of course, we've got the reprints. So we've got Chimera, the Flying Mythical Beast, Gazelle, the King of Mythical Beasts, Baphomet, Double Warrior, Jet Synchron, Satellite Synchron, Desynchro, Synchro Chase, Earthbound Immortal Asila Piscu, Earthbound Line Walker, Earthbound Greater Line Walker, 100 Eyes Dragon, Earthbound Geoglyph, Full Armored Crystal Zero Lancer, Full Armored Black Ray Lancer, Supreme King Gate Zero, Supreme King Gate Infinity, Supreme King Dragon Dark Worm, excuse me, Supreme King Dragon Odd Eyes, Supreme King Dragon Clearwing, Supreme King Dragon Dark Rebellion, Supreme Rage, Altergeist Marionetter, Altergeist Silquitus, I believe is how it's pronounced, Altergeist Meluseek, Altergeist Multifaker, Altergeist Hextia, Altergeist Prime Banshee, Altergeist Protocol, Ancient Chant, Millennium Revelation, Sun God Unification, Magispector Raccoon Bunbuku, Magispector Crow Yada, Magispector Toad Ogama, Magispector Cyclone, Rescue Ace Hydrant, Rescue Ace Turbulence, Rescue, Reinforce, Extinguish, Emergency, Contain, Alert, and Triple Tactics Thrust. Honestly, guys, looking at this list and all the reprints that are in this set, I gotta say this is probably going to be one of the craziest sets that we have seen for a side set in a very, very long time. I get that Maze of Memories was pretty good, but to be fair, Maze of Memories didn't have types of new cards, these types of reprints. Like when you look at Maze of Memories, Maze of Memories had a bit of an interesting had some interesting cards, if you will. Maze of Memories had obviously the gate, the gate guardian support. It had some like other like side cards, side support as well. For Blacklisted Soldier, for Red Eyes. It had the new Field Spell Duel Academy. New hero support, new Cyber Dragon support, new Synchron support, Red Dragon support. And just a bunch of like random, just like a bunch of like random cards in general. Where as opposed to Maze of Millennia, it has new support for what, three different archetypes. It's actually kind of cracked. So with that being said, the question is Maze of Millennia worth it? Is it worth getting the box, or is it worth getting the singles? Personally, it's better to get them. Normally, I would say to get them in. Normally, I would say to get them as as singles, but honestly, with how crazy this set is, I would say go for the boxes. I mean, obviously you're not guaranteed to get all that you need, but to be able to just try to be able to experience what it's like to open up a set like that would be interesting, would be pretty fun. And think about this. Half the set, think about this. Half of the new cards, which is obviously the Flame Swordsman support, they're all world premiere cards. Where as opposed to cards like Eye of Illusion, Kaitop Terra, Hornsaurus, Arcana Force the Fiend, Bonfire, they are all OCG imports. They were in I believe in the Animation Chronicles set, and now they're in this set. So I'm not so sure if this is a sign that Konami is leaving the whole Battles of Legend series, because they've been doing Battles of Legend for years, ever since the first Dragons of Legend came out. I think it was in 2015, if I remember correctly. 2015, yeah, 2015. Back in 2015, they did Dragons of Legend, Dragons of Legend 2, Dragons of Legend Unleashed, Battles of Legend, Light's Revenge, Relentless Revenge, Heroes Revenge, Armageddon, Brothers of Legend, and then Monstrous Revenge, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong. I think I got all those mixed up, but basically it's that. It's basically that, and now we got Maze of Memories and Maze of Millennia. So I don't know if this is the direction that Konami is going from from the Battles of Legend series to this. I'm not sure, but I will say this. This is going to be one of the most cracked sets I have ever seen in quite some time. So definitely worth getting the boxes. Of course, too, if you guys prefer to get the singles, that is okay as well. But with that being said, that will do it. That will do it for this week's episode of Yu-Gi-Oh's Biggest Issue. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel and you guys want more episodes of Yu-Gi-Oh's Biggest Issue in the future, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and follow me on all of my social media. My ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.